everybody, welcome back. It's Simple Art for Adults. Today we're going to talk about something a little bit different and something that I know a lot of people that I speak with personally seem to have a problem with. And you know, it's something that's so easy to solve. I figured we really needed to cover it. And that is choosing a color palette for your pictures in your adult coloring books. And so I have everything here that I need to show you exactly how you're going to do this, and it's going to be so easy every single time. This is never going to be a problem for you again. So what I have here is my set of 150 Prismacolor Premier colored pencils, and these are of course artist quality. They're by far my favorite pencils, and as you can see, you know, there's trays and trays of colors. So as you're going through here and you're look at all the blues and all the reds and yellows and oranges and greens, and there's trays under here too. So if you have all these colored pencils in front of you and you're thinking, okay, well, I'm going to color this picture. You're going to reach in, start grabbing colors, and pretty soon you're going to feel a little lost. And there are people who will actually quit coloring because they aren't happy with the color selections that they've picked. So today what we're going to do is we're going to figure out how to narrow this down so that we can set this entire box of pencils aside and focus on just a handful, just a specific set that you've chosen for a particular picture. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and close this up. I'm going to move this out of the way. First things first, you're going to need this. This is a color swatch, and I know I said I don't generally do these that fancy schmancy. This one's actually offered online. You can find this on the internet and print it out. I can't remember if this is the one. This is not the one direct from Prismacolor. I completely forget where I downloaded this. I will find it and I will give you credit in the comment section below as soon as I remember. I'll have to go look it up again. But anyway, in this little chart, you have a section for every single color in my Prismacolor 150 box, right? So all these little circles are colored in, which makes my life a lot easier because you can't go by what the color of the pencil is. We talked about this in another video, and if you haven't seen that one, please find it. It's in my list about how to make color swatches. This will help you tremendously because you'll know exactly what color is going to come out of that particular pencil. So first you're going to need this. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pick your initial colors. And there are a couple different ways that you can do this. Let me try to get the focus back really quick. This camera does not like me for whatever reason. There are a couple different ways that you can do this. There are a couple different ways that you can get your initial colors. The first thing that you can do is you can pick out you know, 4 or 5 of your favorite colors that you really like and you want to put together. And after you've done that, you're going to pick a light, medium, and dark, and we'll get into that a little bit later. Or you can go online, go to Google or whatever search engine you like, type in color palette generator in the search bar, and it'll bring you up a list of free programs that you can use that will do that for you. It'll pick out 4 or 5 different colors, and it'll let you adjust. So like if it brings you up a purple but you aren't really too keen on that particular purple, you can pick a new one and then regenerate the rest of the palette based on that particular purple, which is pretty cool. It's something that I really enjoy. So let's get into this a little bit more, and I actually used the online color generator today for a page that I'm wanting to color in my coloring book that my awesome boyfriend bought for me the other day. It's Kirby Roseanne's Imagimorphia. This is a really popular one. Yeah, so far all I've done is the nameplate page. I just wanted to play around and see how the colors would lay down on the paper, and they did such a wonderful job. Anyway, so I'm going to start this 2-page spread, which is, of course, the male and the female swan. The lighting in here, I've worked on it. It's still not perfect, so you'll have to forgive me for that. We've got the male and the female swan. And I thought, well, I wanted to do cool colors, but cool colors that were also bright. So I went to to one of the internet color palette generators, and I pushed the button, and it came up with a pink color that I really liked. So I saved that one, and I kept regenerating until it came up with a palette for me. And this is what we ended up with. Actually, before I show you that, yeah, let's do it like this. Give me a minute to zoom back in on that so you can see it. And if anybody else out there is using Prismacolors, you can borrow this as well. All right. So there we go. And you can see these 5 colors that we have here. We have the first is Beige. The second one is a color called Celadon Green. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. The third is just Prismacolor's Pink. The fourth is Black Grape. Now in the color generator, they had this listed as a liver color, but when I paired it up with my Black Grape on my little sheet here, which is right there, as you can see, let's see, keep holding this upside down because there we go, there's the Black Grape. So yeah, I was like, that doesn't look like any liver I've ever seen, but you know, whatever. And then we have the powder blue, and these are all the color numbers if you have your Prismacolors organized by number instead of color groups, and you want to go that way. So you go ahead, if you want to get yours out so you can kind of follow along and see how I did this, go ahead and pause it right here, find these particular color numbers and colors, and then come back. All right, otherwise, now that we have these 5 colors, all right, my goal was then to find colors that are going to fit each one of these. So we needed some colors to go along with Beige, some colors to go along with Celadon Green, some colors to go with Pink, Black Grape, and Powder Blue. I love these little index cards for this. This is so amazing because it's got like the perfect texture. It's almost like coloring book texture, so you know that what it looks like on here is pretty much what it's going to look like on the swan. So that's pretty fun. So the first one I did was Beige. And for the record, I have these nice little wicker baskets that my daughter bought for me at a yard sale a while back, and these are perfect for holding the pencils that I'm working in. This is just great. I love these. These are my 5 colors that the online color palette generator chose for me. So they're all in one of these little baskets. All right, so for Beige, what I did is I got out my little sheet here, and I started, you know, I held the beige color up next to all these little dots, and I started finding some that I thought were in the same family and that looked really, really nice with it. So what we came up with this one is we have the Peach Beige, Deco Peach, and Beige Sienna. Let me find it. There we go. So to go along with the beige, the Prismacolor Beige, we have these 3 that are all roughly in the same family. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to use all of them in my picture. It just means I have more options available to me, and I know that if I use these colors with the beige, they're not going to clash and it's not going to look terrible. Please keep in mind that this camera isn't picking up these colors correctly, so they're probably looking a lot different in my light than they're looking on your screen. All right. For the next one, we had the Celadon Green, which is almost, I don't remember if you remember like the old school Crayola crayons from back in the day, and they had a color called Cadet Blue. That's kind of what the Celadon Green reminds me of. It's like a grayish green. So light, medium, and dark for this one was a little bit difficult, and I kind of decided that maybe I wanted the Celadon Green to be the lightest color. So what we chose here to go along with this was a cobalt turquoise, which is basically, it's like a aquamarine color almost. So we have that one, and then we have a jade green, which is not very far off from the Celadon Green, to be completely honest with you. And then we went with a muted turquoise, which is exactly what it says. It's like, it's turquoise, but it's kind of been dulled a little bit. It's a little bit grayer than your average turquoise, almost like you took a turquoise color pencil and then went over it with white. So these are the 3 that we have to go along with the Celadon. Oh, that's not the right one. The Celadon Green. So this was our original, the Celadon Green, and these are the 3 that we're going to pair up with it. And I know that the barrels don't look even remotely close, but as you can see here on this card, they're kind of going to go nicely together because they're all cool green colors. So I figured that's going to work out pretty well for us. The next color, of course, is Prismacolor Pink. And And this one was a little bit difficult too, honestly, because pink, the rest of the colors were kind of like a cool, and a neutral pink is really neither cool. It could be cool or warm. I didn't want to pick too many really warm colors for this one, but I did want a nice bright pink. So what I ended up going with for that was the processed red, which is kind of like almost a magenta color. It's really, really bright. Whether it ends up going into my picture or not, I haven't decided yet. We're going to see. I'd really like to get it in there, but I'm not so sure how it's going to look with everything else. We'll just have to see once I get it going. But anyway, so we have the processed red, and then we have Deco Pink, which is kind of just a lighter version of the regular pink. It's a little grayer, a little more muted. And then we have a Rosy Beige, which is... I'm not really sure how to explain that. It's almost like if you took the pink and then colored over it with a cool gray, the color that you would get. So these are the three colors. Here's our original pink. Is this one, the Prismacolor Pink. And then here are the three colors that we're going to pair up with that pink in our picture. Next we have Black Grape. Now this was the liver color according to that color generator, and I just think that's absolutely ridiculous. It doesn't look anything like liver, but if they say so, I guess that's what we're going to go with. The Black Grape, and I know you're probably not going to be able to see it really well on the screen right now. It's almost exactly what it says. It's like a really, really, really dark, almost black purple. So finding colors to go with this was a little bit difficult. I could have chosen black. Black would pair nicely with this, but I don't really want to put black in my picture because it tends to make things look dirty and yucky. So I wanted to steer clear of that. So what I chose was, there's a color, I don't know if I can say this one either, Dioxazine Purple Hue. This one is also nearly black, but it's more leaning more toward the blue side. So it's also cool, but it's in that same kind of almost black family. So we picked this one. We went with Black Cherry, which is in the same family. It's really, really dark, but it's got more of a red tint to it, but still in the cool family. So it's not like overwhelmingly bright. And then finally I chose a gray lavender, which can be the lighter end of this. I think it paired nicely with the black grape color. So if I wanted to do like a gradient, of course, I would put the gray lavender at the bottom and the black grape at the top, and then either the black cherry or the dioxazine purple hue in the middle somewhere, or even all four of them if I really wanted to get creative. So for that, we started with our black cherry, or I'm sorry, our black grape color. And this is the original color that we had from the color generator, and these are the three that we're going to add to it to make our palette. Last but most certainly not least, we have our powder blue. This is such a pretty color. It's so nice and light, and it's so versatile, and you can do so much with it. I'm really excited to put this in here with these swans. I think it's going to look really nice, especially on the male swan. I had an idea to do this one more pink and this one more blue. Yeah, we'll see how that works out. I'm not sure. But anyway, so for a powder blue, this is already going to be the lightest color. There's not getting any much lighter than this. So what I chose to pair up with this one as a Blue Violet Lake, which is kind of the same family as the powder blue, but a little bit darker. So there's that one. I chose China Blue because it's bluer. I mean, it's a lot of blue. So if I really need something to pop, this is going to be a good blue to do that. It's a little bit warmer than all the other colors, so I don't know how well it's going to fit in the picture. Once again, I'll just have to wait until I get there and see. I may actually get out another index card and start just doodling little gradients with these colors to see if they're going to mesh well together before I put them on my paper. And then finally, for a medium color, I chose Mediterranean Blue, which is also, it's like a darker version of the Blue Violet Lake, but it's hard, it's a little bit bluer. So this is our original color, the Prismacolor Powder Blue. These are the three that we're going to pair up with that to make our color palette. So we went from a box of 150 pencils is what we started with, right? Let me zoom back out for a second here, guys. We started out with 150 pencils to pick from, which would have been like crazy overwhelming for most people, including myself. And I color a lot, but 150 pencils is a lot of pencils. We went from that to this. So this is what we have now. These are just cute. My 15-year-old daughter found these at a yard sale for me like a couple years ago, and I've had them, and I finally found a great use for them. So this is our entire palette. This is it, guys. This is everything that we're going to need to finish this entire thing. Now, am I going to stick to just these pencils? Probably not. Could you stick to just these pencils? Yes, you absolutely and most certainly could. There is enough color right here to get both of these done, and it'll look amazing, I promise. For me, I'll probably end up reaching back in and grabbing a different pink or a different green. And if you want to reach back in and grab a different pink or a different green, please do that. I mean, I would encourage you to do it. And just be mindful, though, that cool colors and warm colors don't always go well together. And I'm not going to send you off to study color theory or anything like that. But I do just want you to understand that just because you have two blues in your hand, or just because you have two greens in your hand, it doesn't mean they're going to make a nice gradient. It doesn't mean they're going to blend well, and it doesn't mean they're going to make a nice pretty color when you layer them. So you have to be really careful. I would encourage you to keep a scrap piece of paper that's roughly the same texture as your coloring book paper, really close, so that if you do decide you want to reach in the box and pull out a different color, you can lay them all down. You can test out the layering. You can test out the blending. You can test out your gradients. And before you go and accidentally ruin your picture or put something in there you don't like, which is going to be really hard to erase, try it all out on this page first and see if you like it. If you don't like that color, you put it back, you grab another one, and you start the process over again. And guys, I realize that this is a lot of planning to color a picture. I really, really do. But trust me, once you get into this and you've got, you know, this swan this color and this swan this color, and you don't know what to do with the rest of it, you're going to be glad that you have this right here. And you don't have to dig through that whole box of 150 pencils to find out what you want to do with your picture. I encourage you guys to give this a shot. If you don't want to use the online color generator, that's absolutely fine. You don't have to. In that case, what you would do is you would reach in your box and you'll pull out some of your favorite colors. So let's say these are my favorite colors in my box, right? So I have my black cherry, I have the Celadon Green, and I have the processed red, which, if you remember, was like a really, like a hot pink magenta color almost. So then what you would do is you would look at each of these three, test them all out, and you want to make sure that you have okay, so we'll do, there's your processed red. Yes, I realize this is terrible. There's your Celadon Green, and here's your black cherry, right? So now once you have these here, your goal is to go and find a color that is lighter and darker, or two colors that are darker, or two colors that are lighter. Your goal is to have a light, a medium, and a dark for each of your colors. I realize that's only 9 pencils, so for something this complex, it may not turn out for you. You're probably going to end up reaching back in the box. But if you're doing something, like if you're new to this and you're doing like a mandala, or if you're doing a relatively simple picture, this is really all you need to do. Just, you know, play around with it, make sure your colors are in the same family and that they match and that they blend well and that they layer well, and you're well on your way already. Guys, I hope this video helps you guys out. I hope some of you, if you've given up your coloring books and colored pencils because the picking colors part was just too hard, I hope you guys go back and pick them up again and really give this a shot. This was actually relatively simple. I think it took me a total of 15 minutes to sit down and pick my colors, and that was from the point that I typed a random palette generator into Google. That included making up all these little cards so that I could show you which colors I chose. If you want more information or anything, please leave comments. If you want some help choosing colors, if there's something that you don't understand, leave a comment and I'll help you. Like I said, I've never studied color theory, but this is fairly simple. I've been doing this long enough where I can pretty much do it, I would say with my eyes closed, but that's a little impossible. But yeah, if you like this channel and you like these videos, please be sure to subscribe so that you'll know when I post something new. Go to the website, simpleartforadults.com. It's spelled just like it sounds. Check out all the cool blog posts there. We've got more videos on YouTube. We've got some product reviews coming up. My goal is to finish coloring these and maybe do some videos along the way, or maybe even do like a time-lapse coloring session. Whether I'll actually get around to that, I don't know. It's really hard for me to find the time to turn the camera on and sit down and color things. It's usually, like 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there. But yeah, I'm going to try to do all that. Hit the subscribe button. Go find us on Facebook, like it's there. Go to the website. Subscribe for the email newsletters and all those things. We really appreciate all the views that we can get, and if we can help you, we want to. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.